For many people, the idea of shadow work can sound scary, and the way I look sometimes doesn't help. But there's no denying that it can be rather uncomfortable for many people, despite the benefits that doing shadow work helps authenticity in your life through joy and peace. But shadow work doesn't have to be scary all the time, and at times it can be really fun. I'm going to show you how to start it, and for those of you who are new here, a fun and easy way to do it. Namaste, Sacred Masters. I'm Dr. Aiwas Ukehi, author of Shadow Work, Finding Your Light in Darkness, and I'm here to help you with your shadow work and manifesting questions to elevate your self-growth. So don't forget to subscribe for pick a card sessions, Grabovio numbers, and Ukehi vibrations, so that you don't miss on anything that can help you realize your full potential and find your light in the darkness. Let's do something fun for once. Well, actually, everything we do should be fun and exciting, but this time, let's discover together a way to do shadow work in an easy way as well. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is because I wanted to make a counter-argument into our world of hustle culture and how I actually think it's toxic. But what is hustle culture? Hustle culture is this societal standard and also celebrated form of exerting yourself 110% to succeed. Hustle culture is the collective drive to work harder, faster, and stronger. The companies and even inspirational books that tell people to go hard or go home keeps people in a constant stress release hormone called cortisol, which eventually leads to burnout. So, how can we use shadow work to not only counter these toxic effects, but also to make you more productive and have better quality of work? That's right, the word shadow merely implies what is in the dark. Sometimes, good things can be in the dark that you neglected. Have you guessed what it is yet? The answer is play. For some people who see this word, their conscious mind may already be making up excuses that there just isn't time for them to do anything. With work, family, relationships, they're already tired and exhausted by the time the day is over. But this is why I'm making this video, because it is important that you balance out your life between work and play. July 8, 2021, a study by Mayo Clinic shows how stress not only puts your health at risk, but also reduces professional productivity. To produce quality work, you must achieve personal satisfaction and conscientiousness. Why do you think elementary students seldom experience stress? That's right, it's called recess. Of course, once people start growing up, going to high school, they begin using their break time for mingling with friends and catching up on the latest gossip. They trade their break time of play for other stressful activities like trying to keep up with trends, wondering if they're popular, etc., etc. You'll see colleagues spending their time during lunchtime talking about work or catching up with their family schedule. This all leads to a mental health epidemic. Like I said before, hustle culture is not helping anyone. It's actually doing the opposite. So let's talk about balancing work and play. Like all things in life, you need a balance. There is no such thing as too much of a good thing. Remember, if you drink water, you live. If you drink too much, you drown. So for our shadow work today, let's do something fun. Let's figure out what can you do to play. But first, you need to be aware of how much you have to balance. Merely just playing all the time makes you unproductive as well. You can sit down in your journals and write about the things you do for an entire week. Then I want you to ask yourself in this shadow prompt, what activities in my list are considered play? I want you to tick off each item you do during the week that you consider play and having fun. Give yourself 2 ticks if you're playing and having fun on your own. Having fun on your own is simply the most powerful thing you can do. Playing sports with family and friends, going to watch a movie with your lover are all great things, but nothing as great as spending time with yourself and expressing yourself. Once you've done that, take a look at how balanced your life is. You could have a little too many ticks, or too much ticks. The trick is to always find a balance. Your first step, which is the fun one, is to go out there and discover the world. Have fun discovering new ways you can play. Some people don't think learning new things is play. I do. We are all different, so there's no one right way of defining play. As long as it makes you excited, filled with energy and time seems to pass by like lightning speed, do it. I detest organizing parties, but my best friend, it is her obsession. She has her own closet of dress-up clothes of different ideas and events. That's happiness for her. I love to sit down and build electronics and circuits, but to some people, that's their job and makes them stress. For me, it's just adult Legos. See how different we all are? What we have to do is to discover the parts of us that revives our shadow child again. By playing, if we can nurture the shadow child within us, it also creates a healthier relationship with our inner soul. I talk about the shadow child in my free 7-day course of shadow work. If you haven't done it yet, click on the link above or description box below. Remember, playtime promotes good health. It reduces the risk of heart attacks and strokes caused by stress. It improves your mood, reducing depression, anxiety, and stress. That also reduces the risk of diabetes and cancer too. Don't let hustle culture make you feel guilty that you are playing and not working. If this were happening in a family relationship, like a man would tell a woman he expected her to be in makeup all the time and clean all the time, that's dangerous levels of toxic. Like I said before in last week's video, just because it's socially acceptable doesn't make it any less toxic. We are just programmed to believe otherwise. A woman in the 1950s may think cleaning and waiting on a husband is the dream life they want, but our society has grown since then, and women have become more aware that, wait a minute, this is not a dream life, this is toxic. Time for me to call more people out, which I have done in other past videos. As I said before, I'm not worried what people say about me. Your mental health is what I'm here for. Remember, shadow work is not all the time looking into your dark repressed self. It is about finding the self that is in the shadows. Unfortunately, with the way our society is sometimes, we are programmed to think everything in terms of binary. We sometimes forget the stuff that makes us happy, and it lives there in the shadow. The shadow child inside of you is not nourished, and it festers inside of you, sometimes lashing out. This is why when people lash out, get angry, it's usually because they are stressed. The stress comes from the lonely shadow child that you have ignored. When you nurture your shadow child, it becomes free. It expresses itself in joy and happiness rather than anger and pain. I talk about it in my book, Shadow Work, Finding Your Light in Darkness, that in the end, it is all about us reclaiming our authentic selves again. The self that we have forgotten because we are so busy trying to exist in our three-dimensional world. We are all spiritual beings having a human experience. We must reclaim back our authentic selves again. And what easier way to do it than through experiencing play? Remember, we were not only born to create, but we must enjoy the fruits of our creation. What is the point of earning $1 million a year at work when you never get to enjoy your house, your family, or even worse, yourself? This is a concept that even took me a long time to grasp, even after I started shadow work and before I became a certified practitioner. I grew up in Singapore, Southeast of Asia. It is a culture where we must work and study hard in order to have a better future. The constant stress in that culture is to be the best so you can have a good life stayed with me for so long, even after I moved to Australia from my high school where life was much less fast-paced, and my grades were not only getting better, I found joy in learning new things. But yet, the whole work hard so you can have a good life mantra still stuck with me, until I had to clear blockages and allow myself a better life not only financially, but mentally and spiritually too. So you can see how interesting things can get when we look into the shadows and actually find that joy and happiness can be forgotten too. Now, this is not the first time I have told someone this. I have told some of my clients that too. Some of them are so far down the hustle culture schema that they have forgotten what even makes them happy. The older they are, chances are they forgot what even they enjoy doing. They have no hobbies. All their time is their work and family duties. I tell them all, this is the fun part, the rediscovery with your shadow child. You can do a shadow child meditation in your Merkaba home, which I cover in my free 7-day course, or you can do something easier than that. Daydreaming is another form of meditation. Sit down, put on some music, lay down and learn to daydream again. The way you daydreamed as a child. Start to get creative and think about all the possible things you can do that makes you happy while playing. Not sure if you're up for it? Give it a shot. You may not like playing your favorite sports now, but what if you just kicked around a ball again? You might discover that the dream was never lost. I may not play with Legos anymore, but I still like building things, which some of you have seen in my community posts on my homepage on YouTube about my latest project I'm building for you guys. You can do variations of what you enjoy. If I enjoy building, find something to build. Set aside some time for yourself to get back into your authentic self again. Try listening to some of my Grabovia quotes. I have music for happiness, peace, stability. Use them while daydreaming. Start your journey today to become you again. I'll see you next week. Namaste.